You know when life is AIDS, Twitter is being Twitter, YouTube itself is just a shit platform now because of how corporate content feels these days, and if it's not that, it's just fucking drama or click. Off topic though, genuinely rare I find a channel that makes me feel something when watching a video. You know when you feel like throwing an orphan off a bridge because there's some stupid argument about Sonic movies being crap in live action, despite them being some of the greatest movies to ever exist in modern movies? You know when modern gaming just likes to take a giant steamy pile of liquid shit over everything and fucking up the excitement games once had by just chasing trends and shoving live service up the bumholes of every miner on the planet? You know when your head hurts because woke culture and cancel culture have spread around the internet faster than fucking coronavirus ever could have dreamed because those dickheads are the real viruses in life? You know when any of these things enters your head and just puts you in a steamy mood that not even social media attention could ever fix? Sometimes you just need something to make you feel again. And for me, it seems like only one thing has that power now.
It's time to face your fear, 'cause when your time has come and gone, I'll be the one to carry on, and you can throw me to the walls, 'cause I am undefeatable. I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up to the
There's truly something special about Sonic Frontiers that now puts it in a place in my heart over almost every other game I have played in the last few years. It just makes me feel. I don't think I can play games anymore without having something else to watch at the same time. I don't think I can get excited for anything anymore the way I used to with something like an update for COD or Venom being in the next Spider-Man game, a game that was beyond phenomenal and yet I couldn't give a fuck. Literally a 1-minute teaser that shows fuck all got me as excited as Zombie Chronicles, and that was the most excited I had ever been for a game ever. Because from that I knew there was going to be something that couldn't have been shit no matter what. Game releases, I was already hyped as shit. I played through the game, beat it in 2 days, and have played it religiously after that. That shit I don't do, but the main reason for my first repeat playthrough was just to experience turning Super Sonic to slap the shit out of a lanky prick that grabbed me by the balls earlier.
Have you any last words? Bro, this song is so sick!
The ability to make me want to experience something for the first time again in any game is so rare, but hearing those lyrics on top of an orgasmic riff at nighttime with this cinematic showdown as Sonic just looks his enemy in the face and smiles knowing that this shit is already over, and it transitions to the most epic 4 minutes the Sonic franchise has ever seen. This isn't just some spectacle that looks cool. This isn't just some boss fight. This shit is therapeutic. The sound design from each hit, the power with each attack, even being hit looks cool and is satisfying. Oh, slap me harder, daddy. It's an all-out smackdown, a fight to the death, a playable AMV. And just when you think the Titan can't do much more, lasers grow out its back like it's Shin Godzilla. Giant mouth lasers that you have to hold off with your bare hands, or even dodge it if you have this skill and knowledge. Fighting for your life to stop this thing from eating you whole by keeping his jaw open with all your strength, throwing him into the air just to slam him back down to the ground, and when he tries to fight back, just bully him some more until it's all ended in style and power with what feels like a statement. Supersonic just became cool again. You think Mario could ever do that? No, this is Sonic the Hedgehog as we all know and love him. All that can be said just about the first Supersonic boss fight. Don't even need to mention the game at all or anything else, just that moment alone. And then there's more fights just like it. So how did they do it? It definitely starts with the first encounter with the Titans.
Holy moly, that's a huge cock.
So much is said with that first scene. The fucker just appears out of nowhere and catches Sonic completely off guard. And this alone is the most serious threat Sonic has had to face in 10 years. So I like to imagine his cockiness when he runs at the Titan be a result of the 2010s of Sonic just not being taken seriously at all. But that all changes in less than 60 seconds. And it wouldn't be enough to just have this thing spawn in and do something. It's clearly powerful just looking at him. But the game gives you a chance to try and fight, only to realize how powerless you are against him. It's like that stupid, unfunny, cringy Sonic gets killed here and wakes up as a legend that people love.
Feel me!
Holy fuck. I'm coming.
Get fucked!
From this, it may take about an hour or two to get all the Chaos Emeralds, but before the most fun you're about to have, you have to use the knowledge that you wasted on learning Sonic Adventure speedrunning skips
The fuck just happened?
to beat probably the hardest puzzle I've ever seen. I didn't even try. I just keep turning this shit until I get it done eventually. Even Amy starts hyping up what is about to happen.
I'm sensing the Titan up ahead. This is it. The big showdown.
Just a small teaser that the developers are giving you before you enter at this point. There is no turning back. All this was just build up, and it doesn't stop there. You hear it in the distance through the gap in the mountain. You can't see what you're heading into. The music starts, and you're face to face with the beast, and it is time. Even climbing his body is fun to do, even more when you avoid the blue circles that just send you off. It's like playing a little game to make it seem more intense and challenging. The fact that you're literally an ant compared to this thing, and reaching his head and getting the last emerald is a feeling that will never be forgotten. So the build up was perfect. Now the execution needs to match it. What better way than to introduce the battle with one of the hardest heavy metal tunes to ever exist in gaming. Fits right in with Sonic as well, being a high energy, upbeat, fast paced banger. The music in this franchise almost never misses. So that's one Titan, the one that was marketed. We all knew that Giganto was one of the boss fights teased all the way back in the announcement trailer, with his leg just showing how massive he was, and in the reflection of Sonic's eye. I never could have made out what the fuck it was, but looking back at it now, it does actually resemble his head, which is fucking wicked. And while not being the most complex boss of all time, it's the most special because it's an introduction to this hopefully new and improved era and direction for the future of Sonic. And I guess you could say the music does carry a lot of it, because without it, these fights look like this. What the fuck am I doing with my life? And it's not even just like it's a smackdown either. There's also challenge to make it look cool. I always try and make sure that I time what goes on in the fight to the music. If I end the fight and then it just jumps to the end of the song, then I failed. So carefully planning out how you're going to take this thing down while also making it perfectly sync up with the music is like a mini challenge in itself. You might think that the audio jumps are weird, but when you put them together yourself, it just makes it that much more satisfying.
All in all, Giganto is simple, dumb, fun, exactly what Sonic needed, had about 10 years worth of build-up, is a perfect send-off to the first island, and a perfect introduction to what to expect for the rest of the game.
We're on a mission, overdriving over all the competition, counting up the damage when it's done. We can't pretend to listen, sorry if it puts you in an imposition. We won't stop until the battle's won. What goes around comes back around again.
The second Titan carries all that momentum on. Once again, an island interaction giving us a look at how different it is in every way. I was genuinely scared all Titans would be the same as Giganto, but the Wyvern being different in every way is something to love. And it has a lot of personality. Giganto is a beast, but also just seems like a drone at the same time, not being all that active until the fight. The Wyvern is a fucking Twitter feminist. Is that a man down there? I hate men! Oh, holy shit! Kill all men, kill all men. Bitch, can you calm the fuck down? It's a wild animal with crazy energy. It's like carnage. All it wants to do is destroy you. The set piece this time is a lot more interesting and could have been genuinely fun if the movement wasn't completely restricted. They create a path separate from the island specifically for this moment, but I personally think it would have been better if you had complete freedom of moving through the island while being chased down by it to get to a waypoint, or just don't make the movement in this section 10 times worse than cyberspace. But once again, this build-up sends a message. This clearly won't be anything like the first time, so if you think you're prepared for it, you won't be. Getting the Chaos Emeralds definitely takes longer on Ares Island because it's massive, but a lot more fun to explore. You enter the arena, and you have to find your way up to the beast. There are grind rails that'll take you on either side, where some rings are found in case you're playing the definitive version like me and can't create your own rings from thin air. It also kind of guides you that the tower is the only way to catch this thing, if for some reason these grind rails caught your attention before the tower did and you went up there instead, but fuck it. The spectacle is a lot higher here as well, to make up for the fact that it's not the most thrilling of gameplay. These auto-run squid sections aren't the most fun, but ignoring that, everything about this fight is just as good as the first one. You have to love the variety as well. Instant change-up of gameplay from being locked in an arena to chasing down your prey all over the island, and the path isn't even that linear. You're locked onto where the game wants you to go, yes, but it isn't afraid to change the angles, flying in and out and all around the area you were just running in. And they also did a great job in making this fight satisfying to play. Each time you parry a missile and hit it back, you just burst forward at super speed as everything goes blurry and the monster is just flailing about. It's all complemented by the music as well. There's something about it that just fits perfectly with no effort. Like, this song couldn't be for a final boss or the first boss. It just works as the second boss. And I also just like how each song is kind of a different theme as well. Like, Undefeatable just gets you fucking hyped. It is impossible not to feel like a titan myself when the song in the background is literally screaming, I am undefeatable, while I destroy this thing in front of me. And the pacing of Breakthrough It All seems to just fit perfectly with the pacing of the fight. And once again, if I don't feel like a titan already, watching Sonic throw this bitch to the side of a mountain makes me smile more than a pair of tits. Phase 2 kicks it up a bit with some incredible quick time events, jumbling missiles into a ball to kick it back at the fucker, colliding with it in the sky and just holding it back while it's literally on fire, ending it all by forcing its mouth open to kill it with its own missiles. Truly a franchise highlight right here. Chaos Island. The king of the bosses makes an arrival with, again, another squid running section. But this one is so much better, and honestly, if you have the overpowered mod, then challenge yourself to try and beat this section with it, because it's a bullshit challenge, but really fun to do as well, and just something to make the game more replayable. And even though pinball is AIDS, the night fight is more than enough to make up for it by being a complete smackdown, a cage match. 2 go in, 1 is coming out. And because everything is confirmed canon in this game, Sonic is still crowned King Arthur at the end of the Black Knight. This is a Night Titan trying to take away that crown from Sonic. You can get fucked. And once again, it has its own personality, having the highest battle IQ of all the Titans. It has its own fighting style that makes him a worthy opponent. It's got speed, its own way of defending. A few surprises. This challenges everything you have learned. And this mini cutscene of just being slammed into a wall only to get right back into the fight just builds up the intensity. I just love how all the bosses find ways to completely catch you off guard, and with the side loop effects and counters being different, with the knight being held up and slammed down by blades of pure energy, really selling the power of Supersonic. The flying shield does get a bit annoying when you don't know what you're doing, but shoving that shit down his face and then being able to counter all times to the music feels like S ranking every Sonic Unleashed stage, and Phase 2 thankfully gets rid of the needing to fly the shield in its face with something simpler, but also a lot more fun. Again, the spectacle is high. Catching its giant sword in your hands, a literal life or death moment, holding it off while you kick that bitch away and ending it all on an unforgettable note. It is time to end this. And there you have it. Sonic Frontiers brings Sonic back to its franchise roots of being so ambitious and crazy and boundary breaking. This feeling has been missed for so long. So why does the final boss suck dick? Well, we all know why. There's no build up, no cool quick time event. It's a clone of Giganto, but worse. And we don't really need to talk about the final boss. The only thing that makes Supreme good is, one, I'm Here is just an absolute banger. And the other thing is that in Frontiers, all these supersonic bosses were just fun by design. It's all the extra shit added that brings the other 3 beyond fun. And it doesn't help that in the base game, you've leveled yourself up, but also Supreme just has a lower health bar. So he just gets shredded in seconds, the poor lad. But I think I've said enough, to be honest, and yes, this took the piss to be uploaded, but but it's just me, so who gives a fuck anyway? But that's all for now. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed. Don't take life too seriously, and cheers, lads! And until the next time, have a good one.